Picture this. You're asleep in the middle of the night when suddenly you hear barking from outside. Oh, that's my dogs. I better go check on them. As you make your way outside, you get this strange, very odd feeling, like something is wrong or something. You decide, maybe I'm not gonna just walk outside to look at the dogs because something feels off. I think I'm gonna check the CCTV footage. And so you go to check the CCTV footage and whoa. What the frick is that some frickin' haunted pants? Yes. Yes, it is. Good evening, everybody. I am the Rat Man, your host, and today we're going to be talking about a phenomenon known as the Fresno Nightcrawlers. Just real quick, the way that we're doing this before I dive into it is I'm going to be reading through the wiki page and going to things that connect with it. Now, I'm not being surprised by what I'm reading. I know about these things. I know completely what they are. I even have my own theory about what they are. These are one of my favorite cryptids because they're adorable. And, I thought it would be great to talk about it. So, we're going to be reading through the wiki page. We're going to be watching the CCTV footage. I'm going to be giving my input on things that it could be. That sounds like a good plan to you. Please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe. If you got a cryptid recommendation, all you got to do is subscribe and comment the recommendation. I will make a video on it. Please recommend. I really want some recommendations right now. I want some input from you guys, please. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the Fresno Nightcrawler. The Fresno Nightcrawler, also known as the Fresno Alien, is a cryptid that has made 4 notable appearances so far. 2 of them in California, 1 in Fresno, and the other in Yosemite National Park. In both sightings, it's only seen in video footage. A man in Poland has also claimed to have seen the creature. There has been another sighting in Billings, Montana on April 25th, 2020. There's also something called the CARMEL area creature, which we will read about in just a minute. I'm going to skip this section because I've got the entire Wikipedia article to that pulled up. I haven't actually read the whole article on that one. I've read like the general consensus, but I haven't read the article. So that could be interesting because I don't know a whole lot about it. The creature has also been spotted in Yosemite where footage was taken from what appears to be another security camera. This time there are 2 creatures, one being very small, around 1.5 meters, and the feet of the creature can be clearly seen as well as what appears to be some sort of webbing connecting from the knees to the upper body on at least the larger one. Very interesting, it gives that fabric kind of appearance. The cryptid has also been videotaped in Poland, this time with what appears to be a handheld camera judging from the shakiness of the footage. The creature cannot be seen for too long, but appears to have similar traits to the large one taped in Yosemite. The next sighting of the creature was in Billings, Montana, captured on home surveillance system at 9:45 p.m. on 4/25/2020. April 25th. Is that April? Yeah, it was. I got that. I didn't even have to think about it. Nice. I'm homeschooled. Some explanations. An alien or extraterrestrial being. A new species, possibly a primate with short arms or no arms at all. A misidentified deer standing upright. Are you kidding me? What? That is... Who has that idea? Please fire that. What? Pants and or a puppet on a wire. A bird walking like a crane. A person wearing big pants and walking on stilts. A balloon tied to some sort of cloth with 2 remote controlled toy cars as the feet. That's actually like a kind of ingenious way for that to happen. I don't think that would work because like the fabric would get caught up in it and stuff, but like that's kind of an ingenious way to fake that. That's funny. That's funny. I like that. What even are these things? What do they look like? I'm sure you've seen it by now. I've got it in the thumbnail or something. But Fresno Nightcrawlers appear to be relatively short creatures, approximately 1.5 meters, with most of their height being made up of their legs as they possess an extremely small upper body. It's hard to find details in the upper body of the cryptid due to the poor quality of the footage. It's an extremely thin, white humanoid with no arms. A larger specimen appears to have webbing connected from each knee to torso. The cryptids appear to have very short, thin, and stilt-like feet. The Carmel area creature is tall and gray with presumably no arms and long muscular legs. It is bipedal and walks in an odd manner with its backward bending knees. It resembles the Fresno Nightcrawler. Something really interesting about that, you'll see what the Carmel area creature looks like. There's like a picture of it somebody drew. Oh, it looks terrifying. But you can see in the footage that we're going to watch here in a minute that the Fresno Nightcrawlers do seem to be kind of paternal. You'll see a big one with a smaller one, which gives the appearance of like a parent and their child, which is interesting. But what if the Carmel area creature is the like fully developed Nightcrawler, and the ones that we see in the video footage are just like siblings? They're just like child siblings. That would be wild. These things are cool. I like them. Some of the sightings are actually a pair of white pants being puppeteered, therefore a hoax. The alleyway gif of the Fresno Nightcrawler was created by YouTuber Captain Disillusion by walking down an alleyway with a melon and then using digital manipulation to remove the top half of his body. His purpose to demonstrate how easily videos of cryptids can be falsified. And they can. They can. Okay, look. Hoaxing videos is actually pretty easy to do. Here's the problem. At the point that we are at, and before even, you can hoax just about anything at all. So, if we make some new discovery, who's to say that none of us will accept it because it's been hoaxed? And that's not to say like, okay, we should just accept this, but that is to say, stay open. Alright, let's go ahead and watch some of this footage so you guys can see it for yourself. Fresno, alien, aka Nightcrawler footage. Second figure yard crossing with a cape. Close-up analysis, you be the judge. Maybe I will. Original footage cropped to fill up screen. Good to know. Okay, here we go. 12:48. Oh, do you see it? I don't know that I've actually even really watched this full footage. Dude. Which is weird, because I've read a lot about these. That is actually kind of eerie, though. Like, it is sort of creepy. It is pretty creepy. Emboss effect and inverse to raise details of the figure. Please take note, if there was a string holding up the figure, it would show up with the enhancement. Interesting. Yes and no. It depends on the string that's holding it up. You know what I mean? But also the way that it moves, it doesn't look like it could be puppeteered. Like, the way it's coming across there, this looks more like if it's a hoax, it's more of a costume or something like that. Because that's just odd. But yeah, it wouldn't reveal the string if it was like a thin or translucent string. But if it was straight up like slightly semi-visible ropes, you would see outlines. Or if the light caught it at all, you would see the outline in an emboss. That's interesting. That's a clever way to try and enhance it, isn't it? Okay, so this is interesting. I haven't watched this full footage through. I've just seen little clips of it. That whole thing is actually kind of eerie, but they're also adorable. You know what I'm saying? So I like them. That one was the first. That was the original. This one is from Yosemite. This is the most famous one that you'll see like everywhere. If you watched me ranking cryptids based on how much I think I could beat them, this is the image that I used to put these dudes, to rank these dudes. By the way, I ranked them as I wouldn't fight them because they're just too adorable. It is also eerie. However, I don't know. was gonna say it looks CGI, but I have watched stuff like this before where it like it's old CCTV stuff and it looks animated, but it's not. Like not weird CCTV, literally just normal CCTV footage stuff. Like just people walking around, but because of like the quality and the time and everything, it looks animated. So I was gonna say that looks kind of CGI, but it's kind of iffy. I don't know. I'm not sure. All right, this next one is in the crawlers in Poland. This is the most difficult one. This one's kind of like is very iffy. Well, actually slightly less iffy than I thought, but still like you don't really get a full shot of them, you know? Then again, I haven't watched this whole thing through. Maybe you do, but I don't think you do. I think that's it. Yeah, that was it. What the frick is that? Oh my gosh. So that's the footage of the creatures. What do you think? Like what's your thought right now? Is it a hoax? Is that a real thing that's happening right there? If it's a real thing, what's going on? I'm not gonna fight that it's a hoax simply because lame, and they're adorable, and I want them to exist. Unless they become the CARMEL area creature, even then I'd want them to exist. That's just sick. That's just so cool looking. Look at that. Look at that. That's sick. The CARMEL, and it is CARMEL, not caramel, not caramel, because there is only one A, okay? Look at how that's spelled. C-A-R-M-E-L. CARMEL. Or I hear some people say CARMEL, which sounds cooler than caramel. So, for principle's sake, the CARMEL area creature was a bizarre cryptid sighted on December 12, 2014 by a 60-year-old former Marine near Carmel, Ohio. The witness and his wife were driving near Carmel when they came over a hill and saw the creature. Here's the original sighting. The witness, a 60-year-old former Marine yet to be named, he's anonymous, and his wife were driving near Carmel on December 12, 2014, when they came up over a hill and saw a 7-foot-tall, slender, gray creature, which is now known as the CARMEL area creature. The unnamed witness said the following. We recently bought a place in the Fort Hill area. Wait, Ohio. I don't know what Ohio southern accents sound like. I just know what Missouri southern accents sound. We recently bought a place in the Fort Hill area in southeast Highland country. We first noticed after about 30 days of living here that we suddenly have a perfect circle that stays fresh green no matter what weather in our front yard. On Friday night, the 12th, we were driving home. After turning onto Carmel Road, which leads to our road, we went around the curve by the Carmel Church and then up a small incline, and approximately 10 feet over the incline and in front of our truck, the alien ran across the road and into the woods. Very interesting. The witness described this creature as a 7-foot-tall, slim, gray creature with muscular legs that walked like its knees were backwards. The 60-year-old former Marine who allegedly saw the creature also said it didn't seem to have arms. He also included a sketch made shortly after he arrived home. I haven't seen that. Let's see what that looks like. You are curious. Come on, where's the sketch? Oh my gosh. Oh my gat. Is there no sketch? There are several explanations as to what the creature could be. Theories include an undiscovered earthly species, a cryptid, an alien/extraterrestrial, or, due to the backwards pointing legs and lack of arms, it's likely that it may have been a bird, specifically a stork or crane. You telling me he saw this and it could have possibly been a bird? It's 7 feet tall! Like, okay, I get that birds can look whack, and yes, I think a lot of cryptid sightings are birds, okay? A lot of them are, because birds can be weird. Storks can just like what is that? Okay, especially when the lighting is weird. But it's 7 feet tall. That was no bird. That was no bird. Okay, either this man is lying or he saw something. Okay, that was no bird. Okay, and it's not a deer standing on its hind legs. Okay, anyways. What could this thing be? What do we think these things are? Both the Carmel area creature and the Nightcrawlers? What are we thinking? Are they connected? I'm just gonna say, for like the sake of it, yes, they're the same thing. All right, let's go with they are the same thing. What could they be? Obviously, like, the most popular theory is that they're aliens. I don't like that. I don't like aliens being the explanation for things because, like, first off, I don't believe in aliens, which I know is a wild take. I literally have to make a video on, like, my belief on these things at some point because it does make sense. It just takes a minute. I don't believe they exist. Yes, from a logical standpoint of, like, the universe being... I believe in God, okay? I'm a Christian. I believe in God, which is why I don't believe they exist. Now, from, like, the evolutionary standpoint or whatever, yes, I would be like, of course they freaking exist. Are you kidding me? If we exist and the universe is possibly infinite, maybe not even infinite, but just the size that it is, there not has to be, but there almost has to be at least another life form out there. Like, that's just logical. There should be. But I believe in God. And so I believe, yeah, he might have made other creations, but probably not around here. Well, he could have made other life on other planets. I don't believe he made other intelligent life on other planets, like our level. Otherwise, he might as well have done that here. You know, he might as well have put multiple races on Earth. And the Nephilim happened, but that wasn't his fault. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the alien theory in general. I feel like it's just kind of a shrug off, if you know, but I get it. Hi guys, so my audio stopped recording. Anyways, where were we? Aliens, right? I think aliens are dumb. I just went over that. You just heard me say that. So what's the other theories? When we look at the Carmel creature, the dude was talking about seeing a fairy ring. He was talking about a green patch in his front yard. That is a fairy circle, or a fairy ring, okay? That brings in the Feywild and fairy creatures, which is a whole rabbit hole I will have to go down someday, because it's like cryptids and fae, and they kind of make sense in the middle, except they are classified as different things, and it is insane, but I'm obsessed with both. It's just cryptids are more, like, well known, but we have to go into both because it's insane and you guys will love it. But possibly a fairy creature. This would make sense because it could be herbivorous, an herbivore, right? It could be, maybe, if it was an actual physical creature. However, it would have to be, okay? Like, it could not survive as, like, a carnivore, okay? But I could see, well, okay. Opportunistic, or, like, scavenger vibes, maybe? It just seems really iffy. This doesn't seem like something that could actually exist as a physical creature. It seems like it would have to be more ethereal. And fae and fairies kind of fit into that category. I believe in those things more than I believe in cryptids. Let me just tell you that right now, because that gets kind of scoffed at when you're like, oh, the fairies. I believe in those things more than I believe in cryptids. Believe me. Okay, it's terrifying. Anyways, but a lot of people are like, ooh, aren't those friendly? No, they will kidnap your children. They will steal your child and replace it with a doppelganger. It's terrifying. But the Fresno Nightcrawlers, maybe, but is that just a devious, like psych card, and they're actually horrifically terrifying, and they just try to look cute and paternal to make you comfortable, and then boom, they got you? Maybe. Well, we might never know, because I'll be carrying a CCTV video camera if I do go capture one, and you won't be able to see what happened. So, I'm sorry. That's just how it goes. Alright, then the final theory that I came up with on my own that I teased back at the beginning of the video. A homunculus. Has anybody ever thought of this? I don't think anybody has. What is a homunculus? A homunculus is a creature that is created, I think, through alchemy. I'm pretty sure it's in alchemy. And it's supposed to be like this helper creature that goes around, helps you out. If you know what a golem is, like, think Minecraft Iron Golem. That's like an actual creature from, like, Jewish folklore. You make golems, you take a note, you put it in its forehead or some orifice, and that is a command word, and it gives it life, and it does whatever the command word says to do. Homunculus is like that, but it's just meant to help out around the study. You know, it kind of seems like that, so maybe a homunculus, or there's even the brand new type of homunculus that is a human hybrid, and it's kind of really terrifying, and they're like white, fleshy creatures, and they're really weird, and I don't believe that they exist. I believe they're hoaxes, but who's to say? And what if somebody was really good and advanced at creating these things, and that's what that is, and that's why they're like white, and they have like a slightly translucent skin that looks like fabric. You know, that's just wild, but fun theories. Those are the other ideas that are possible on here. So alright, that's gonna do it for this video. If you like this style, let me know. Like, I'm testing around a lot right now to see what everybody likes. I don't know that I like this style a lot. I'd probably rather like read through everything, compile the information in my head, and then write it out and give you a kind of like pseudo script off of it. I think that would work better if instead of just reading straight out of the wiki, I was reading my own amalgamation of information, I think. But that might make things take longer. That might make the video creation process longer. But also, I have a lot more free time on my hands from here on out. So I might actually have time to do that perfectly fine. We'll have to see and test around. But let me know what you thought. If you liked the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. We're trying to make it to, I think I said 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. That is our goal. That is our goal. I think we can make it with your help. If you have a recommendation for any videos, subscribe and comment. If you do both of those things, just comment the idea you have. Bam, I will make a video on it. I'm getting nobody's like telling me what videos to make right now. So if you do, I don't care if you say, review a Barbie movie, okay? I might just do it. And with all that out of the way, I think I'm about to go explore a tunnel. So, I am the Rat Man. Thank you for watching, and peace out.